stress. A very, very entity which we don't want to have as friends. We don't want to have stress as a friend. But we cannot be free from this unwanted guests. Usually, if you don't want a guest, you lock our door against. You knock on the door, nobody answers, so you don't enter. But stress is an unpalatable friend we don't want to have as friends, but it is imposed upon us by Lord Krishna. Not by Lord Krishna, but material nature, by material nature. So we have been looking into this issue of stress, and we continue to look at it because it's something which is very, very important in our life. Stress. We have looked at different ways we are stressed for a few days, and we'll continue to look at it today. So today we are going to look at managerial stress. Managerial stress. Stress occurs in many environments in Western society. A classic example of stress is that experienced by the business executive. In one sense, this situation is ironic because the attainment of a managerial position is a sign of success. That is the disease that people don't know. People think that if I am the most famous person in the world, I'll be extremely happy. This is the illusion people think. If I am the famous person, if I'm the wealthiest person, if I'm the most beautiful, most attractive, if I'm the most honored, that's illusion. We never know that when you get there, you're going to get a different situation. That is the problem with conditioned souls in this material world. Everything we ever thought of, that this will make me, will give me that pleasure, that happiness, that satisfaction that I want. By the time we get there, opposite result. Opposite. It's the opposite result. Everybody is experiencing that. I give you an example. Oh, I'm not happy because I don't have a wife. Oh, I'm not happy I don't have a husband. Oh, I'm not happy I don't have money. Oh, I'm not happy. I'm not happy just because I don't have followers. But when we look at things very carefully, who crucified Jesus? Who betrayed Jesus? And who sold Jesus? Who? The followers. The followers. Who poisoned Muhammad? The disciples. Who refused the Prabhupada to climb the Ratha Yatra cart in the festival? Who refused the Prabhupada climbing on the cart in US? A disciple. So our mistake is always that we think if I'm the director of this company, the whole world will be at my feet. When we get there, we are at the feet of our position. Stress. From the Shastra we had, from the Shastras, we have a different thing. To give example of this situation, it's a different thing. Then we'll get to there. Or I can just put everything together. From Shastra, we had that Sachi Devi, not Sachi Mata, the mother of Satan Mahaprabhu, we were speaking about few minutes ago. Sachi Devi, we are talking about the wife of Lord Indra Devi. She always said like this, those days, not today. Always is like this. What is that? Stress. Why is she like that? Because the husband is not there. Every time the husband is invited for this party, that party, this problem, that problem, he's not there. He's stressed. Also, the wife at home is stressed. Who will ever think that such an exalted personality become stressed because of the position? Because of position. We are talking about Indra, the Indra spiritual master himself. We're talking about just Indra, who is a king, is the head of the demigods. What of their own spiritual master, Brihaspati? He was stressed. Why? Because King Maruta was performing Jagya, and he was not the chief priest of that Jagya. Yesterday we described in Mahabharata that Brihaspati became lean to the size of a broom. Stress dried him up. Such a mighty person, the spiritual master of the whole demigod, the 3 million, he have disciples, 3 million disciples. Brihaspati has that, but he was stressed. And the stress reduced him to the size of a stick of a broom. Stress. Why? Because he was unhappy that he was not the chief priest of that powerful Jagya. His own Gino brother became the chief priest. Stress. So to talk about Indra is nothing. Stress. And then Lord Brahma, constantly harassed by demons. Give me this bone, give me this bone, give me this bone. And when the bone is given, his anxiety is in trouble. The whole world is in trouble. Then he has to start struggling hard to settle that issue. Stress. So in the big position, the problem is there. I also have personal experience. Many devotees were thinking if I become the temple president, I'll be very, very happy. Become temple president. I know some temple presidents that are stressed up that when they sit in the class, they don't hear because they're stressed. They're thinking about the money to maintain the temple, the anxiety to take care of the temple. So many complications from different devotees, some troublesome devotees. But in the beginning, we're struggling to become temple priest. I become a temple priest like demigod. The big position. When you take the position, stress. Some of them were having meeting 2 o'clock in the morning, 2 a.m. in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning. 5 o'clock, the time for japa. I have a meeting. Is that normal? Stress. But before I would think, if I become top president, there are billions there in account. When you enter there, there's no billions there. The stress of going out to go and ask for donation. The stress. I remember I remember we went to meet some friends for donation. They kept me there from 9 o'clock to 6 o'clock in the evening. 9 o'clock in the morning, got there. Wait for me, I'm coming. Waiting till 6 p.m. in the evening when they are closing from work. That's what you get for begging. You want to be temple president to be stressed off in anxiety trying to get money. Especially a temple that doesn't have any source of maintenance. Stressful. Stress. You cannot hear properly in the class. Because you're sitting in a class and thinking about the next program, next morning, how to get the next money for this program. The watchers are going to ask you for so many things that they need. How to take care of that. Stress. So at all levels, you have this stress. We already talked about individual stress, communal stress, continental, global, even universal. The stress are there from all. Different levels of stress is there. Everything, anything we think of in this material world, I would think it is what is going to make us happy. We are going to get stressed out. Stress up in a short while. In a short while. So, however, the stress that accompanies such success may sometimes bring complications that ultimately result in unhappiness, sickness, and even death. It is happening. Every day it's happening. Some few years ago, one member, he came to the temple, and he was in the temple president office. We were discussing, that's in Bini Temple. So he was with the temple president and other devotees in the president office. We were discussing, and somebody just came in and announced to him that his wife was dead. Himself dropped dead. He crashed on the center table. He crashed on it. Everything came down together with himself. Stress. In executive families under stress, Otto Gary L. Copper summarizes the three symptoms of different types of stress experienced by managers. You are in a position where everybody is thinking about when are you going to get down for him or her to get to that post. That the energy that is being sent to you every day. Every day you sit in office there, but all the people around you, they're thinking when are you going to get down for him or her to get to that post. All that tension, all that anxiety, all this energy goes to the person who's sitting as the manager. Even people come to say, good morning, sir. Before coming there, even while they're there, they're thinking, I thought I'm coming today to see that you are not here. So I could be the next person to take over the office. But they're still sitting here. That is anxiety goes to the manager. I should also say this. I should also say this. A few years ago, somebody, one devotee, asked me in Brazil, what is the use of always ordering us to cover the hair, cover the hair? What is the use of these things? Can't we be free? Just go cover the hair. What is all this? I said, Mataji, should I tell you the truth? She said, yes, tell me the truth. You say, yes, tell me the truth. That's why I asked you a question. Tell me. I said, see, scriptures cannot tell you lie. Acharya, they cannot tell you lie. Whatever it is said in the scripture, of course, there are chances that the scripture does not always that it is applied and the same circumstances. There are certain things which it is always the fact, always true. So I said, my friend, let me tell you, covering your hair is good for you, not the acharyas you are talking. The instruction they give to us is for our own benefit. So when you don't cover your hair, we will reach there. We're going to reach there. But I remember this, how to say it, as it came. You are sitting with the 30 men in the bus or in office, 20, whatever, 50 men. All of them are sending their loss to you. When you cover yourself up, you are protected. So you don't realize that some of the lusty energies that we get, not all of them are coming from yourself. Majority are coming from other people, projecting that to you. But when you do that, you are covered, you are protected. So it is for your own good. So she put her face down. And then one other devotee who was with me there, once he asked a question, he also teaches Bhagavatam. So he said, yes, you are correct. This is correct. This is perfect. So people are looking at us, what energy they are sending to us. For a condition so, what energy do we send the people when we see people? It is a devastating energy, not a lovely energy. Not. So it's a protection. So we should understand these things.
You said the camera is we are not seeing you.
So we have 3 symptoms of different types of stress experienced by managers. Physical symptoms, palpitations, tightness in the chest, indigestion, impotence, tingling in the arms and legs, headaches, rashes, double vision, or muscle tension in the neck or lower back. Tension. Stress. See, I do like this, that is stress. You say practical, it's not a tale, fairy tale, it's practical. It's happening. 2, emotional symptoms. Mood swings, excessive worry, inability to feel empathy, excessive concern about health, withdrawal, fatigue, lack of concentration, and increased irritability 3, behavioral symptoms: indecision, excessive complaining, absenteeism, becoming accident prone, producing poor work, increased smoking and alcohol consumption, drug dependency, overeating or loss of appetite, or difficulty in sleeping. Daily, these things are being experienced, man. Daily. This is daily experience. That is happening, these are happening every day. But the people. Some people cannot sleep without drugs, sleeping pills. That is, it becomes a normal. and yeah, it is true. I saw somebody, whenever you meet him, there is nothing he's going to.
It's 3 o'clock.
Okay, thank you. The moment he say Vancha Kalpataru, when he finishes, oh Prabhu, my this, my body, my this, my body, my this, I want to hospital, I want to check this, I want to do this thing. The whole time you're going to stay with him, it's about health issue. He's not going to disconnect you. Just not even one word about Krishna with you. It's all about health. You see my finger, see this one. On my head, I have to do this test, I have to do that test. Yesterday I did 3. Now doctor asked me to come again for 40 or the 41. And after the next one, I'm going to go for 3 tests. Stress. Stress. When so one day I said, Prabhu, can I say something to you? He said yes. He said, see, our minds are very, very funny. The mind is very funny. People who always think of problem will always get problem. Because that is what we have made to be our deity. Our deity is problem. So we are worshiping problem. We must always get problem. You cannot be free from problem because that is the deity we worship every day. So please, can you just take me, release yourself from this tense up every time you're expecting problem. Like we have some leaders, when they're visiting temple, they're thinking what kind of trouble they're going to get there. Even when they're looking at the devotee, they're thinking, what's the next problem? Yes, what's the next problem? So they're waiting, they're not waiting to come and tell them, oh Maharaj, or Gurudev, or whatever, we have this program for you. That is extra, that is bonus. Huh? They're waiting to, oh, this problem, or this person like this, or this person like this. Yes. Ah, yes. Then that is a feast. That is a feast for some devotees. The feast is just in numerous problems that you have to deal with. Numerous. Stress. So what is our slogan? Chant and be happy. What is that slogan? Chant and be happy. What is it? We have buried that slogan. Stress has imperceptibly taken away our chant and be happy slogan. Imperceptibly. Stress took it away. In the presence, right before the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right before the Holy Name, right before the Guru, stress has imperceptibly withdrawn our life. Stress. What is this? The length of this list makes it appear apparent that stress has wide-ranging deleterious consequences for managers. We already said the examples. We have this Lord Brahma, Lord Indra, all stress up. We'll give an example of that, apart from Swami Brihaspati, all stress up, all stress. So with stress, we cannot concentrate properly. You know, when you have anxiety, when it's an anxiety, it's good not to eat. Because if you eat while in anxiety, the food becomes poison. So when someone in the Vedic culture, if someone is eating, you don't tell the person bad news. You don't give bad news to somebody when the person is eating. You have to wait an appropriate time before you can present it. You look at the scriptures, Mahabharata, you look at Ramayana, this is what you see. Because it is going to stress the person immediately. The food. I remember once one of my close friends. We joined the movement almost the same day, and he was very, very nice. We were very, very close friends. Very close friends. We sleep together. We do everything together. Not everything. Not everything. Some things together. Some things together. The common things we do together. So it's very, very nice. Externally very nice devotee. He's because of his good nature and his nice religious qualities, not spiritual, but religious qualities, became a temple president, he's a regional secretary, he's a Gurudev driver. So many wonderful qualities. Highly appreciated for his nice qualities. But although these qualities are there, they were not deep. They were not coming from inside. They are from outside. That's why I say religious qualities. They are from outside. Like a pious person. So he was not chanting the holy name. And so if only not chanting, Srila Bhakti Thakur said, if someone has some good quality like being patient or merciful, being merciful to people, but he does not chant the holy name, not the duty Lord Hari. I don't value that, and it is practical. I saw that, right, in my friend. So one day I was I was taking prasadam, and he went out for some things, and he came back. I was taking prasadam, and he came to meet me there, and he dropped the key of his office, the key of the car, everything. He just dropped the key on my lap. I said, "Take, I'm leaving." I said, leaving means what? Say, stay there. I'm leaving. That's the food I was taking. The appetite just cut off. I couldn't eat again. Stress. How my friend is living like this, and he does not give chance as you talk to him. Stay there. I'm going. That's how he left. I was tense. What is this? Anyway, that is stress. So when someone is eating, it's not good to give the bad news. So he came and dropped the key. Then the key of the movement, he dropped my hand and left. That's how he left the movement. Stress up. So now we move on to male and female managers. You look very carefully, you see that we are not just Guru Dev is not dealing with philosophy, just empty philosophy here, but dealing with the practical thing which we do every day. That it's part of us, and these things we are going to do. The practical experience we have every day, how we can adjust our life to fit into Krishna consciousness for our success. These materials, these tools are appropriate, especially at this particular time. Especially, it is good at all times, particularly this time. It is necessary. Why? Because stress is increasing. Stress patterns appear to be different for male and female managers. Some of the stress producing difficulties experienced by male executives include lack of job security, lack of trust throughout the organization, and pressures of too much for or too little work. Sometimes additional stress ensues from a lack of effective communication with superiors or from denied promotions. In addition, a dual career marriage can be stressful. A dual career marriage can be stressful. In the late 20th century, when more companies are becoming multinational, issues of relocation to another country may arise. In any move to a new environment, the male manager may doubt his ability to master a new job, worry about the effect of job changes on his wife and children, fret about his new mortgage, and in general, be concerned about his family's ability to adapt to a new situation. Moving from this place to another place means what? Everything is changed. You're going to change the house, you change the environment, you change the school for the children, meet different people. Everything is changed. As for some people, even traveling from one place to another place is a whole trouble. It takes some time to recover. So all these are stressful. A female is standing before a male manager to look for a job. He's looking at you. How's he looking at? As my daughter? No. He's looking at you different with interest. Yes. And some will have to demand outrightly, if you sleep with me, then you get the job. Otherwise, even if you have the qualification, you're not going to get. Stress it. Even to pass exam in school, in some places, to pass the exam, to have wonderful results, you have to pay a lot of penalty. So many. So these are stressful. Stress. So many. Every day we have to confront all these things. Even up to the point the man is smiling with you. He cannot be ordinary. He has some interest. It's expensive. It's stressful. A good Dave gave example, He demonstrated how our thought works and how it's affecting people. And a seminar one day he called somebody to come on to the front of the stage, and he asked every person, the audience, please think of this person negatively. Think about bad thing happened to this person. Just be sending. And everybody was thinking about that. You die, you sick, you get problems. Everybody was sending all kinds of. While they were doing that, he asked the person to lift the hand up. He couldn't. Lift the hand, he couldn't. Because he was surrounded by all kinds of nasty energies, stress. He couldn't. They said, okay, stop. Now you send good health, good smile, potency. Just send to this person. Everybody was sending good things, all wonderful things. You live forever. You have a good face. You be on top of the world. Everything. When the Guru said, lift the hand, he was levitating. Without practice, he was levitating because of the energy that were being sent. These are practical things, not just not just a empty philosophy that doesn't benefit any person. So stress is so dangerous. It is in all directions. Stress, maintaining children, maintaining house, getting money, health, fear of everything, fear, even a lizard, fear, stress, right? Fear of height, so, fear of traveling, accident on the road, terrible accidents. Fear of so many things, poverty, what will happen to me if I lose my position, like Indra. Indra is always antagonistic towards any person who doing austerity. Why is she doing that austerity? It's because of me, my position. Stress. The stresses that affect the female managers are often more complicated. Okay, I will just now remember the example of that. In Dwarka, stress are there over Samantaka Jewel. The whole Dwarka city was in anxiety, gives jewel to Krishna, Satraji doesn't want to give, and even up to the council of Uddhava was in anxiety. When Sri Rupa Goswami described in his Lalita Madhava book, Lalita Madhava, stress, they're all stressed up. Whether someone took a jewel, was stolen. Nanda Maharaj, the stress is there, shifting from Nandishwar. From Nandishwar, they are living because of Aristasura. Aristasura still live there. Aristasura still, that is the abode of Aristasura, Nandishwar. So Krishna gave the bull to Lord Shiva. Nandishwar. That's why it's called Nandishwar. Part of Vrindavan, Nandishwar. So Nanda Maharaj had to vacate. They cannot go back there. We left there for Mahava. So because of Aristasura. So we cannot go back there. We have to go to Vrindavan. So they have to leave and come there. Because so many demons were attacking from all directions. It's a stress. Stress is, as far as in the material world, even if you are the holiest person in the world, you still have some level of stress from the disciples, from the envious people, from even different directions. Stress is always there. So we have that. And then this includes confronting others' expectations of our role, dealing with patronizing male bosses, addressing the perceived threat to her male colleagues who were usually raised in a chauvinistic environment, and worrying constantly about her promotions being blocked. One extremely difficult experience for the female manager is the threat of sexual harassment. And for many women, the most challenging stressful problem of all is that of juggling work and family. All this stress are all there. People are just coping. People are just coping with the stress, not knowing what to do with it, how to do with it. They're just coping with the stress. Every day, stress are there from all directions. Every day. We're not just talking about all these things. Gurudev has a powerful tools for overcoming, not reducing, but overcoming these things. So we're going to end with the principle, the tools, how to overcome all the stress. When we look at our scriptures, there's so many. Bhagavad Gita is full of technologies, Bhagavatam full of technologies how to overcome stress, maybe stress-free. Stress-free means reducing to the point we can handle it and continue with our Krishna consciousness without distraction. That we have to look at. Mother Durga, she was also stressed up. She complained to Lord Krishna. Every day my business is so difficult. I have to harassing all living entities every day. So she complained to Lord Krishna, please, can you change my service? Every day my business is to harass living entities every day. What he tried in her hand, way harassing living entities. Durga. That means what? She's stressing everybody. Because she's giving stress for people, she also have that stress. So she wanted Krishna to change her service. But Krishna did not do that. Krishna said, no, you are my consort in the material world. In the spiritual world, I have Srimati Radharani. In the material world, I have you. So you cannot change your service. Your position is eternal. Your position, you cannot be given to someone else. You are the only person there. In other words, means that Durga controlled the material world, it's expansion of Srimati Radharani. So she controlled the material world, represented in the form of Lord Shiva, who is the husband. So next person to Lord Vishnu is Lord Shiva. So Krishna said, in the spiritual world, I should share with the material. In the material world, I should share with you. Lord Vishnu, who is in direct contact with energy, is Lord Shiva. So we continue. The female executive who happens to be married, the male manager has a unique set of difficulties. For example, if relocation becomes an issue, the wife must confront several problems, such as a reluctance to leave her unestablished career, worries about her children's ability to cope, and the feelings that her husband does not appreciate the depth of the upheaval involved. Sometimes jealousy of her husband's freedom may trouble her. She may feel lonely and isolated, and in some cases, she may feel guilty about abandoning her parent or other family members. In addition, she may be concerned about the new neighborhood and the challenge for making new friends. All these are different challenges that is always there. As the 21st century approaches around the world, everyone is experiencing increasing amount of stress. Therefore, as a leader, you can make a contribution by seeking ways to lessen control. The technologies are here. And eliminate stress in its various forms, both in your personal life and in the lives of those you lead. Some possibilities are listed in the following sections. In addition, you can exercise your leadership to change stressful situations that force people to make painful, no-win choices, such as choices between work and family, or between the need for personal integrity, and for job security. The World Health Organization said that the major problem today is mental health originating from stress, especially people in big positions of responsibility, the CEOs. They are the psychiatric patients. You don't see people from Bangladesh having psychiatric problem issue, or people from Hunza. The Hunza never have difficulties, challenges. They have no health issue. Hunza. They live for 140 years, but they're still healthy. They still procreate. They still procreate. The man is still healthy to get children. The wife is still healthy to get it. They're 100 years, they still procreate. Healthy. No one is sick. Because they live in natural way. Natural way. So our stress is coming from excessive material desires. Excessive material desires. Simplicity is missing. Simplicity is missing. Simplicity is missing. We are replacing community with the commodities. So we stress out. We should reduce, or we should try to change back to the community, which Varnashram has established under Krishna's direction. We have to go back to the basis. We have to go back to the basis. This is why Srila Prabhupada gave this Krishna consciousness, for us to retrace our lost step, go back to where we come from. That will make us to be free from stress, to be free, completely free. We have to do that ourselves and see that it's working. Then we can encourage other people, especially those under us. They are directly under us. So we have the responsibility to take care of them. Yes. Corporate America has been forced to accept the fact that healthy, stress-free employees are a valuable asset. The cost of stress to companies in health benefit, lost time for sick leave, and insufficiency is staggering. Leaders are beginning to recognize the importance of reducing these losses through programs that reduce stress and increase health. Several companies have instituted a project to help alleviate stress. Some encourages all employees to engage in exercise during their lunch break or even on the company time. Others provide gymnasiums where employees can easily work out, and many have stress management programs. So we have a lot of retreat centers, resort centers. We have swimming pools. I remember during the GBC meeting, His Holy Bhakti will encourage all the GBC members to take time to go out to the Ganga and swim together, or to go to Rajpur and have a kirtan there, and take prasadam there peacefully, and then hear something from Srila Prabhupada to release the stress, the tension that carry. All those things are there. Some people want to build their house near the sea, near the river, so they can have a cool spot. You have to relax to reduce the stress. Or people take some time to go out to the resource centers, to retreat center, go out of our morbid environment, so we can release the tension, the stress which have been there. And then some are also engaging into some aspect of yoga, hatha yoga. All are for releasing stress. It's important and necessary for us to do this. Because when we think too much, we'll be stressed out and we miss so many things. Bad head come there. loss of appetite will come there. So many negative things will come because of stress. We are experiencing that. So it's necessary that devotees will go, and in India, go for parikrama. We are free from the environment for some time. So you feel free. They say you breathe in the fresh air. You go to the environment to breathe in fresh air. It's to release stress. But they are very good. They are very important, and we should follow them. Very, very important. Some places of business even have task forces that evaluate those who are experiencing undue stress. In a few environments, top executives are encouraging their people to minimize the amount of work they take home. Other managers are trying to get their employees to enjoy their work and to experience more job satisfaction. Satisfaction cannot come that way. It will only increase our stress. Satisfaction will come when we are less stressful. And that can happen only when we take to Krishna consciousness, not otherwise. We take to spiritual things like yoga, hearing discourses. They bring refreshment to the soul. The soul is refreshed when we hear something sweet topics from Krishna. Sweet, something sweet. We don't have anything to pay to give sweet to somebody. We don't miss anything by making someone happy. Only gain. Yes. Many other approaches to stress management are available outside the workplace. Among others, this includes diet, exercise, psychotherapy, and various relaxation techniques. If you eat simple, if you eat simple, if you think simple, if you live simple, you'll be stress-free. You'll be stress-free. That is our slogan: simple living, high thinking. If you live a sophisticated life, you'll be stressed out. You'll be stressed out. You cannot be free from stress. Yes. You can take drugs, you become an addict if you do all those things. But live a simple life, straightforward life, you'll be free. However, a pill that alleviates one problem may produce another, or it may deplete and contaminate the body, causing health to deteriorate in the long run. So these are not the means. The best way is to engage the soul in a refreshing activity like caring about spiritual things, taking a spiritual adventure. Hear about Ramchanda. Ramchanda is coming very soon, in a few days. You hear about Ramchanda. Look at these adventurous activities they perform. So wonderful, so purifying. Hear that. Then after the signal is come. Just see the tools we have in Krishna. So many wonderful, powerful tools we have. That will give us stress-free situation and environment for us to live and make progress in our Krishna consciousness. Okay, we still have. So as far as diet is concerned, in one sense, people are indeed what they eat. So we take prasadam and proper use that to show the potency of the sample you taking prasadam. And proper we speak Bhagavad Gita 20 minutes, 30 minutes. At the end, he will take just one apple, cut it into pieces, and take one piece and pass the many on to others. They took that and became devotees. And the Prabhupada was emphasizing, take prasadam, take prasadam. Everybody that I come to visit, Prabhupada said, take prasadam, take prasadam, take prasadam, because he knows what it is. Take prasadam. He knows the importance of the prasadam. He encouraged everybody to take prasadam. You took prasadam, And Krishna consciousness became a reality, become a wonderful thing for us to do. Take prasadam, nice prasadam. No, we're not talking about a prasadam cooked by hired people who does not have bhakti. Business people who are cooking. That is not what they're talking about. We're talking about prasadam which is cooked with the devotion. Was cooked with devotion, distributed with love. That is prasadam. That's prasadam. A piece of apple change and transform people. How we taking a big place of prasadam? We don't have the same thing because we don't follow a formula. Cook with devotion. Cook with devotion. Distribute with love. That is prasadam. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu glorify this prasadam. What the yogis are trying to get, what the gyanis are going to take, today you are getting it from prasadam. From prasadam. Or Jagannath prasadam. Samosa. We don't see samosa in Jagannath Puri. It's about to talk about samosa. Have you eaten samosa in Jagannath Puri? Jagannath Puri, samosa. I want to take, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned it. I need samosa from Jagannath. Yes, samosa. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu mentioned that. It gives you love of Godhead. Next time somebody visit Jagannath Puri, should get samosa. Jagannath samosa. It's mentioned by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. What yogis are trying to get, what the Gyanis are trying, Jagannath samosa will give it to you. Today you are getting that. So I've been thinking about it. Every time I'm hearing that from Sribhakti Thakur mentioning Sharanagati. So I always think about that. Samosa. So we should get it. Why? It was cooked with devotion and served with love. That is prasada. It brings love of Godhead. Love of Godhead. Chaitanya will guarantee that love of Godhead. And he said, this prasadam is honored and long expected. A personality like Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva. And when Lord Shiva got, he's dancing, taking Krishna prasadam. That is what is going to free you from stress. Not pills. Pills is not going to free anyone from stress. Take something natural. Except if it is a herbal product, herbal one, natural ones. And nature have put everything into one place for us. So we are going for artificial. We should not go for artificial one. We should go for the real thing. Prasada. Nice prasada. Not unnecessary things. Not unnecessary things. Unnecessary things will not help us. But Krishna Prasadam will help, will bring everything to us. Take Krishna Prasadam. Yes, we'll be free. In this acquisitive and grossly materialistic society, many often feel an emptiness that tempt them to use food as a way to fill the void. And food will not do that. Many people are eating. Yeah, overeating is also stress, due to stress. Overeating, workaholic is also due to stress. Want to cover the space because emptiness is drowning us. So want to use that to cover. These are all artificial. They will never help. They will never help. And we cannot be free from all these things. So it's important for us to take all these things into consideration. So now we're going to look at psychotherapies and stress. One of the more complicated and expensive ways of dealing with stress in the United States is a $1 billion a year business of psychotherapy. Frequent visits with a psychotherapist may provide the necessary analysis, guidance, and encouragement to free people from the debilitating, even life-threatening effect of stress. However, therapy is often expensive and sometimes make the person dependent on the therapist, which is also another stress. That is stress itself. Because you are going to depend on something which is not spiritual. That is stressful. It is stressful. Self-help groups, which are less complicated and less expensive, have also been effective in relieving stress. These groups usually consist of people with the same type of problem who can share and work out their issues together. This is cooperation. So yeah, you see, this one is good because it's person to person, and we are discussing. Hmm? When devotees sit together to discuss eating with the aim of finding a solution to the problem, it is very, very purifying. More purifying and the best than people sit together to argue to defeat each other or to destroy each other. That brings stress. The devotees sit together to discuss things so you can find a solution to a problem. It's very, very healthy. It's very, very good. This is recommended in the scripture. Self-help groups have been a great benefit. For people addicted to alcohol, together members can offer strength, guidance, and assistance to one another as they cope with the problems of day-to-day life. However, some such groups may be more interested in power and control than in helping the individual. That is always there because we are conditioned. So whatever thing we do on a condition level cannot bring a perfect result. The only thing that we can do that will bring perfect result has to have connection with the Supreme Person. So it must be spiritual. However, some such groups may be more, you should pay close attention to the kind of group that you select or that you are encourage others to join. Coming to a spiritual environment can help relieve us from stress. Yes, this is what Bhagavad Gita said. Coming to a spiritual environment, you should meet those who knows. And Chatru Vidha Bhajantimam Janaha Su Kitino Juna. Artug Gyarasu Artarti Gyanicha Bharata Saraba. Oh, based among the Bharatas, four kinds of men begin to render devotional service unto me. Who are they? The distress, the desire of wealth, the inquisitive, and who is searching for knowledge of the Absolute. Hare Krishna. I think we should take a break for here and then see if you have some questions, then we can look at it.
Hare Krishna, Shila Gurudev. Thank you so much for the wonderful session. I request all the devotees to either type their questions in the chat box or raise their hands on Zoom to ask questions. So first we have Pran Haridas Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Pran Hari Prabhuji.
Krishna Maharaj, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
How are you,
doing?
Maharaj, I'm still positive. Today I done the test again. It came positive.
Oh.
So I don't know how long that will be. It's almost 15 days now.
Yeah. So Krishna wants you to stay in one place and do more japa. That's all.
So I know that I'll be okay with your blessing. Maharaj, my question is basically like, sometimes we are not unexpected things, comes to our life and we get stress. So like this situation, alone and in a different country, and its handling situation is very, very difficult. So what should we do actually? Unexpected, things.
Yes, that happened in a different country. This we just discussed, different environment. No, not with families, getting sick there. So you cannot get all the necessary things that you are familiar with in your own environment. You might have access to them. So it could be stressful. So the best thing to do as a devotee, the best thing to do as a devotee is that we have all our materials with us. We have our holy name, we have our scriptures. Now you are participating with us. These are the things you can do to make us comfortable wherever we are. Why do we hear activities of pure devotees? We hear them, one, because they will encourage us to look up to that. We hear them because they are purifying. They also give us the hope that yes, it is possible. We hear them. There are things that we're supposed to do, and that is where we're supposed to be or to go. And they're here to show us how to be there. We hear how Srila Prabhupada, he can live in a palace. He can live in Vaikuntha. He can live in hell peacefully. You give him Vaikuntha, he stays the same. If you put him in a hell, it's also the same. Why we should hear about this? Because this is not our life. That is somebody. Because that is where we are going. So we should know how to get there. You should know this is possible. This is possible. We should know. So we hear about all these things. That will make us to forget where we are, and not just be concerned about what would happen to me and in this foreign place. Nobody knows I'm doing here. Who cares about no family, no friend, nothing. Now we take advantage of the technologies available. Be in a Zoom class, a Zoom Japa, everything is Zoom. Yes. Yeah, that is how to handle it. All right.
Yes, Maharaj. Thank you, Maharaj.
Thank you so much, Gurudev. So devotees, if you have any more doubts, you can write it on the chat. I see one from Shubhanga Damodar Das Prabhuji. So Prabhuji says, Hare Krishna Maharaj, Dandavat Pranam. Maharaj, sometimes we are so much distressed that we are not able to ask for spiritual blessings from Krishna. What to do?
So we should remember that the problem is not the end of the world. Whatever problem we have, that is not the end. we shouldn't convince ourselves it is the end. No, it's not the end. Therefore, at least as a devotee, even as a human being, as a devotee, especially as a devotee, we should be able to have a friend who can confide with when he has challenges or some things. So even if you cannot tell Krishna, we should tell a friend, this is my situation, this is what is happening. What should I do in a situation like this? We should always have somebody who can look up to and say our heart to in a time of challenges. This we should always do. Get a friend, Get some friend, somebody whom we can always discuss things with. That will help us. just in a normal life, if someone is sick, you go to a doctor. Similarly, in a spiritual life, we should do the same thing. We should go to somebody who can help us. We should try to approach somebody who can help us. We should not just keep silent. We should approach somebody who can help us. There must be somebody who can approach in life. We should have that. I approach the person. This is my situation. And you'll be surprised how the solution will be. Will just manifest. Manifest and be surprised. What do you think that is? It is the end. It will show you in a very short while that is not the end. That it is nothing. How it will be taken away very easily. All right. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Gurudev. We have one more question from Martha Diwate Prabhuji. Mataji.
Hare Krishna, dear
Yes.
Gurudev. Hare
Yes,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Just
Hare
have my
Krishna.
humble obeisances.
Yeah.
I have a question about this situation when we have something to say or we are thinking something about a devotee. When we see we watch our mind criticizing, we need to talk with someone else about the situation, but we don't want to criticize because we don't want to be offensive by criticizing or talking about this third person. So how can we talk with someone else about a devotee? That a devotee that did something that we didn't like. How can we deal with this situation without being offensive, but because we want to confess ourselves and talk with because we need to talk about something wrong, but we are afraid to be offensive by criticizing. So what to do in this type of situation?
Okay.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
So we can tell somebody else, like we are asking for advice, that I have this problem that when somebody do something wrong, my mind goes there, and that is disturbing me. I don't want this. So this is my nature. You can say like that, not a detail to say, oh, this person like this person like this person like that. That becomes okay. You're dipping down into the condemnation. But because we are seeking for advice to get out of the situation, so we can explain. I have this nature that when somebody do something which is not good, my mind goes there, and that disturbs me. So please, what advice can you give to me to help? In this, we can put it like this. Then, so we are talking about the nature, not a particularly pinpointing on something. This is my nature. I have this. And I know it's not good, it's worrying me, so I'm seeking for a solution. What should I do to get free from this kind of mentality? So the person will advise us, yeah, this is not good because it's contamination. Something is bad, something is bad. We already label it bad. So why should we waste our time thinking about it? It is better that we should talk about something which is good. And that will help us to neutralize the thing which is bad. Like we mentioned before, that people who constantly meditate on problems, they will not be free from problems. And they themselves are surprised. Why am I getting so many problems? Because we are meditating on problems. So it's better for us not to meditate on problems, but to meditate on good things. Look at the good thing that devotees are doing, which we appreciate, and we follow that. The good thing we see people don't take. People in this material world, you cannot avoid that. Many people are going to do something wrong. Many people are going to do something. But we knew what brought us to Krishna consciousness. We know what we want to get in Krishna consciousness. And those things we want to get in Krishna consciousness, they're there. They're 100% present. And the process of getting in, as we've been discussing, is all available. So we should not waste our time to look at the nonsense thing, especially if we're not managers. The managers look at it because we want to make an environment suitable for everybody. We don't want to allow unnecessary things to happen in the environment and become a standard if it's not corrected. So the manager must do that to correct it so that things can go. Because if you don't do that, it's a very big message to people that in this environment you can do anything and you are free. So the things we do will affect everybody, and the things we don't do also will affect everybody. So it's better we do what is right that will affect people positively, spiritually, Christian consciously. So that is not a blasphemy. That is not, you're not distributing the contamination. No. But
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Shalagurudev.
Hare Krishna.
Gurudev, I have one doubt. I think before that, one more doubt is there by Venkatesh Prabhuji. Prabhuji is asking, Hare Krishna Maharaj, thank you for giving us many practical details to deal with stress of life. How can we safeguard ourselves when we go away from association of devotees for job or services? As you mentioned earlier, the energies of others affect us.
As a devotee, excuse me, every day we are leaving our house to step outside. We should be conscious. We should be very, very conscious. I am going to fight. This should be our consciousness. I'm going to fight. I'm going to the war front. I'm going to battle. So it could be anyone, anything. It could be any. It could come in any way, because that is the nature of this material. Whatever, something unexpected will just happen. So to protect ourselves, we should always be conscious that yes, I'm going to the material world. I'm going to the war front to fight. Therefore, I should get myself prepared for that. How do we get ourselves prepared? By the quality of the Maha Mantra we have chanted. If we have chanted very nicely, and we are also conscious that when we go outside, we're going to meet with the people who are not devotees. They are going to always do contaminated activities. We're going to talk about contaminated issues. Everything about them is contamination. So we know that. So we have protected ourselves by chanting very nicely. We have had lectures from Prabhupada in the temple. We have had some on the net. We have a lot of lectures. We have had that attentively. So these are protection. And then when we are there, we are very careful that we don't participate in that discussion. We only, if you want to do a job, we concentrate on the work we have to do. And whatever the necessary thing we have to speak because we have to work there, that's all we should do. We should speak about it. That's all we should do with. Anything that doesn't concern us, we should not just join them to discuss. Remain silent. And we already discussed that it's better to remain silent than to talk unnecessary things. So remain silent. As soon as we finish what we have to do with them, as soon as that is finished, we are off. Then we can hear the lectures going back to our house, or we do japa going back to our house. And these days, especially here in Lagos, if you are going out For a place of 20 minutes, you are sure to spend more than 1 or 2 hours because of traffic. So we take advantage of that. What a job can do that in the car, or you hear the lectures in the car with your ear plugs, continue to release. Then you get to the house and continue. This is how we protect ourselves. We should not just leave ourselves empty. It's all about Chicha Maharaj. When he is traveling with us, he's teaching how to be protected. When we are traveling a long journey, he look in the car and see someone who is just sitting after we finish his sermon, and the journey is still long. Someone just sitting there, not chanting, not hearing, not reading. They will tell, hey, what is it? Spread out. Either you keep chanting or you read something. Just sit idle, that is what? Maya. Maya will occupy the mind. So, as we're hearing, we have to practice what we hear. If you simply hear something or don't practice, we're not going to make a headway. We must practice what we hear. Then everything will become a reality. We'll start seeing
It's 4 o'clock.
Oh, great. Thank you. Good servant, always on time. Mm-hmm. All right. That is our vaccine. We should take our special vaccine. Chant, take prasada. Take prasada in your house before you go out. Don't eat outside.
Yeah.
Even if it is chapati, there is no meat or fish inside chapati. Even if it is that. Even if the subject without the meat, fish, and it's still boga, still sinful. So this is how we protect ourselves. They will remain free from all unnecessary things. All right?
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Srila Gurudev, do we have time for more questions?
Yes. So you have questions.
Yes.
So go ahead.
So there's one. Yes. So there's one more question from an anonymous devotee. Hare Krishna Srila Gurudev, while executing certain managerial services, our consciousness is preoccupied to ensure that the service assigned to us goes smooth, so as devotees don't face any problems. Is it justified to carry such a consciousness even during the execution of our services?
Yes. That's consciousness the devotees will have everywhere. Because a devotee had written a letter to Srila Prabhupada, and he is expressing his mind that he's walking outside. So this is a karmic activity. So Prabhupada replied to him that no, you cannot do karmic activity because you are a devotee. You are working, and the result of your work, you are using that to serve Lord Krishna. So even if it is not a direct devotional service for the movement, the work you are doing, you should do it. The proceeds you can use to serve Krishna. That becomes Krishna conscious activity. So we know that we're doing for Krishna. So we should put our mind there and do it nicely, then we serve Krishna with it. In fact, if you do amateur activities nicely, it will help us in preaching to many people. Now, this person has been with us, but he has a perfect character. He was always on time on his duty, and when he's on duty, he does his activity very nicely. He never speak honestly with everything with anybody. He's always serious on his or her service and her duty. And as soon as he finishes, people are watching, and they will learn from that. It will not be the same day. It will take some time before people will start appreciating what we're doing. So we should do that and consider that a Krishna conscious activity. All right.
Thank you, Srila Gurudev. We have one more question. It's anonymous. Energy of others have affected me and influenced my decisions to a very great extent, especially changing the place of living because of COVID and leaving the association of devotees. How should I take it? Should I take it as my destiny karma, or I'm responsible for my actions? And
Whatever it
Prabhuji
is.
is asking one more question also. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's good.
Whatever it is, even if we take it as our karma, that is not the issue. The issue at hand now is that we have changed our environment because of the situation. And yes, relocating, that is called desired duty, according to Slabak Notakora. Desired duty. We have a constitutional duty, we have a desired duty. Desired duty is when we decide, maybe I decide to change my car or decide some situation require that I should shift to a different place. Like the example, a pandemic situation. So it's a disease in a place, I have to shift to a different place to avoid that. Yes, that is necessary. Now it is done. So what is there now is not to lament, but to look for the positive way to do that. We can communicate like we are doing now. We sit in a house and we are participating in so many lectures, in so many programs, in so many seminars, in so many kirtan. So we should do this. A devotee should be so fixed in our Krishna consciousness in such a way that every situation will bring in Krishna, and that will transform everything, make everything different. Wherever we go, if we don't have an association, we should create an association. We should create an association. What I see with people then non-devotees, they are very, very, very determined. They keep pushing. We can learn that also from them, to keep pushing until we get to what we are looking for. Not to relent in our effort. Not to lament the cessation. Lamentation will weaken our enthusiasm, to weaken our intelligence, and make us incapable. But if we are thinking about, okay, Krishna, this is the situation, what should I do in this situation? We have a lot of ways. They say one way is closed, many more are open. That is a fact. But we have to find that road. The roads are there, we have to find the road. So we don't have association. Create association with devotee, call devotees from wherever you are to speak something, to hear something. You can go to the net, you can hear. Instead of doing unnecessary things, we go to join devotees in kirtan, in lectures, in festivals. Before we came here, we were thousands of devotees on safari, visiting Bangladesh and nice kirtan. One famous devotee who was one of those early devotees who did kirtan, Krishna, named Krishna, something from Bangladesh. They were very famous. I didn't know he had left the body, but today I heard that he left the body. Yeah, heading his kirtan, the sweet voice, so touching kirtan. So this is refreshment. Should do that, and it'll be free. All right, I hope that makes sense. The second question.
Yes, Gurudev. The second question is, how can we see Krishna's hand in our life? Is it that Krishna only interferes in the life of pure devotees?
Once we have given ourselves to Krishna, how do we give ourselves to Krishna? No meat, no fish, no eggs, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit success. We are chanting 1600 minimum every day, and we have a fixed service for Krishna. We are in the hands of Krishna. Whatever happened to us is coming from Krishna, not from Durga. That is why we have to be careful not to interfere with what Krishna has designed to help us. Krishna has designed a way to help us. We should not interfere with that. The teaching from his Holiness Bhakti. By how we respond negatively to whatever happens to us, we should always respond positively to whatever happens. So in that way, we will always see Krishna. We will see everything as Krishna. Whatever happens, we should know it is come from Krishna. Not that Krishna has to compare until they see this one, it is from me. See this one is from me. This one is not from me. This one is from Satan. Krishna is not going to do like that. His Holiness said, it is we who will say this is Satan, this is Krishna. It is we who will do like that. When it is pleasing to our senses, we will say this is God. When it is not pleasing to what we understand, or that is devil. In all the situation, it's Krishna, not devil. So we should understand this and so we can appreciate what Krishna is doing for us. When something happens, we should go to Krishna. We should not run anywhere. We should not ask anything. We should ask Krishna. Depend on Krishna fully. And he will manifest everything which is necessary for our success in Krishna consciousness. All right. Next.
Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev. I have one doubt, Srila Gurudev. You mentioned that Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur says if someone has good quality, like is merciful, but does not chant, then I do not value that.
Yes.
So, Gurudev, how to understand this? Because we see like even in some
the material quality is just a pious work. That's what it means. Just a pious thing with piety. That is not enough. It's not sufficient to help us. This is what Bhakti is trying to establish. There's so many people. A doctor can give you peace to die peacefully because if you feel they're suffering too much, I cannot. This person is so much too much. He's crying the whole day. Let me just give the person pill to die so he can be free from pain. But that is murder. He'll kill somebody. And also, it's an interference in Lord's nature. So we may consider that his daughter is very merciful, He's not merciful. He has killed somebody. Make sense?
yes, Srila Gurudev, yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev. We don't have any more questions.
All right. Thank you, all of you, for being
Thank you so much, Srila Gurudev.
Pray that all of
Thank
you
you
are
so
blessed.
much, Srila Gurudev.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Jai.
Okay. Leave. Gopika. Jayada. Hare Krishna.